says, get that mess out of here. Magic off glass, and there might have been contact with it while it was above the rim, and they score the basket for Magic Johnson.
All the great defensive teams have people who can block shots. That back line changing, blocking shots. You save your teammates. Magic got beat off the dribble. Robinson protected him by blocking the shot.
West has scored 5 straight points. They creep back within 6. Kevin Johnson all over Dumars, who gets it away anyway and misses. And here's David Robinson, the league's rebounding leader, pulling that one down. The bounce pass from Magic intended for Mullen, picked off by the East. Jordan's pass, swiped right back by Robinson. Chris Mullen. KJ. His first basket of the day. Chris Mullen. When Tom Chambers came to Phoenix from Seattle, he said, they don't ever have to run a play for me. I'll just stay active and wait for KJ to break down the defense, and everything else will take care of itself.
And it's so true, because he just finds open spots to flow to. Kevin Johnson breaks down the defensive players, draws the double team so often, or help at least, and he just kicks it out to his open teammates. And there's D. Brown, the slam dunk champion.
His top move was to place one ball atop the rim against the glass, and to stuff that with one hand and bring the ball he was carrying in, Whirlybird, in the same move, and stuff them both.
Very familiar with that.
Yes, both of us are. The last foul was on Robinson, and that's his 5th. The Bob Hope Chrysler Classic follows to complete the afternoon of sports on NBC. Robinson goes out, Duckworth's back in. East up by 6 at 71-65.
Pick coming.
Mullen thought about a 3, drives around King, who hooked him for the foul. With all the point guards in the game for the West, they start to speculate about MVPs. It's interesting. In the entire history of the NBA, a guard has been the MVP for the season only 6 times. Magic 3 of the last 4 years, and then 1 each for Cousy, Michael Jordan, and Oscar Robertson. Jerry West never won it. But in the All-Star game, which tends to be a guard-oriented sort of thing, who's ever got the ball in his hands is the guy who has the chance to hoist the shot. A guard has been the MVP in 20 of 40 previous All-Star games.
Well, as you mentioned, the guards have the ball in their hand. This is a more open game. They don't go down as much into the post-up situations as you do during the regular season. So the guards get an opportunity to shine a little bit more.
Jordan gets the steal. The Defensive Player of the Year a few seasons back. Ewing. Barkley. Dumars keeps it alive for the East. Quick pass to King. Won't miss many open like that, but he did that time.
There are some bodies banging right now. Duckworth, Ewing, Malone.
Magic for 2. The West comes back to within 4. They were down 9 at halftime. Michael. Ewing screens. Gets it back on the pick and roll and slams it home.
There are only so many plays that you can go to in these types of games. One is the 2-man game, the pick and roll. Another, the post-up situation. And then some type of movement or motion offense.
KJ. Duckworth. Misses the turnaround. King's got it. Lob out to Michael. 3-on-2. King from Michael tried to return it. Kevin Johnson out of there. 4-on-1. Only Ewing back. Malone. Karl Malone is wearing 13. He can't wear 32 in the All-Star game because that's Magic's number. And Johnson has seniority. Every year he wears a different number. This year 13 in recognition of his draft position in the 85 draft. He was the 13th player taken in the first round. Barkley given daylight by Malone, has it spin out on him, and Magic has the rebound. Barkley rejects it. And Malone hits off the pass from Kevin Johnson. One year, Karl Malone wore number 26. Jordan gets ahead of the field. It squirts out of his hands, though. He contends that Malone got a piece of him. No call. Johnson spinning. Pass with no particular place to go, and then Barkley loses it out of bounds. One year, as I started to say, Malone wore 26 in honor of his then coach, Frank Layden. 26 had been Layden's number at Fort Hamilton High School in Brooklyn. Sometime when the ball was dead and they still jumped center after every basket. There's Layden working on the NBA's national radio network.
Frank Layden went on to be an outstanding player at Niagara University. Played with Hubie Brown up there.
And the coach there, and Hubie was his assistant for several years. Speaking of Malone, he misses that time, and Barkley has another rebound. The East lead is 2. West with a chance to tie it. Mullen returns to Malone, and Malone was fouled.
I think in the second half here also one thing you'll see is the officials tighten up a little bit on the calls, get the players on the foul line a little bit more. First half, an open game, they let some things go. Here in the second half, when they understand the players are digging in maybe a little bit harder, they blow the whistle.
Tempest Bledsoe was one of the hosts of the All-Star Stay in School Jam yesterday, along with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Will Smith. Malone, when he first came into the league, a poor free throw shooter. He's improved dramatically in that department. He's also the league's leader in minutes played. He averages about 40 minutes a game.
And it was a big problem for Carl and for the team when he was not making his free throws. They were teams intentionally fouling him, putting him on the foul line rather than give up the dunks or the layups. And he understood that he was penalizing his team. I think one game against the Hawks when I was coaching, he missed 13 free throws in the one game. We won by 2. Obviously very critical, so he has improved in that area.
West can tie it. And they do with that free throw.
Look out.
They're on a 15-4 run in the last 4 minutes. And they creep back to a tie at 73. King into Ewing. And if possible, the early stages of the third quarter are even less fluid than most of the first half.
That halftime cooled them off a little bit too much.
Jordan thought about the 20-footer. KJ comes up on him. Here's Ricky Pierce of the Bucks. In the block to Barkley. Malone got a hand on it. Barkley got it back, and there you go.
One of the tough questions I was asked ever. A reporter asked me who would win a game, an all-star team or a regular season champion if they played one another. Tough question, but of course you can see the lack of execution out here with no practice.
Ewing got a piece of Malone's shot. Here comes Barkley, weaving his way through a crowd. Too close to Jordan. Look at Michael. He got stung by that one. From short range, he fired a bullet at him.
Shaking his finger. Michael said, easy, Charles.
You know, Charles could have gone all the way, and then he said, wait a minute. Lots of my pals here. Everybody's an all-star. Can't be a one-man show. Better give it up. But not that close, please. 6:50 to play, third quarter. East 75, West 73.
Kick it out.
The big orange taste of Minute Maid orange soda, the official soft drink of the NBA.
In 1989, the Honda Accord was the best-selling car in America. Let us repeat that. In 1990, the Honda Accord was the best-selling car in America. Thank you.
When the insurance company didn't come through after the fire, we declared bankruptcy. When we tried to start up again, we called AT&T. They said, your company track record makes it impossible for us to do business at this time. So we called MCI. They said, no problem. We'll work out a payment schedule you can handle. Now we're rolling again. Guess who called? AT&T. I told them, your company track record with us makes it impossible for us to do business at this time.
The product, the proving grounds, the results. STP gas treatment is the edge.
The NBA All-Star Game is brought to you by Honda, maker of fine quality automobiles. Test drive a Honda at your local dealer today. By Nike, who reminds you to just do it. And by the big orange taste of Minute Maid Orange Soda, the official soft drink of the NBA.
Let's flash back to the 1966 All-Star Game at Cincinnati Gardens. Wilt was in the game. Russell, Havlicek, Oscar, Willis Reed, Jerry West, Rick Barry. But the MVP was Adrian Smith. Here he is shooting off the Russell screen. The one and only All-Star Game in Adrian Smith's career. Played for the Cincinnati Royals, teammate of Jerry Lucas and Oscar Robertson. He was 9 for 18 from the floor. He had 24 points. And remember, they used to award a car in those days to the All-Star MVP. I talked to him on the phone yesterday. He's a banker these days in the Cincinnati area. He still has the car. It's a Ford 7-Lear Galaxy. He told me they were going to award a Mustang, but they figured Wilt or Russell would win it. Mullen hitting from the top of the key, and a Mustang would be too short, too small to accommodate their legs. Little did they suspect that the relatively tiny Adrian Smith would win it. He's still got the car, drives it 10 or 15 miles a week. Jordan was fouled inside. Drives it about 10 or 15 miles a week just to keep it humming. It has only 30,000 miles on it after 25 years. In mint condition, every part original except for the muffler, his memento of the lone All-Star game he ever participated in. He was the MVP in 1966. Jordan doesn't accept Magic's challenge. Ricky Pierce spins one up. Here's Barkley with the rebound, and back out to Michael. King lost it as Mullen got a hand on it. Here comes a 3-on-2 West break. Pierce almost broke it up. And it's Mullen trying to flip it in over his head, and it's out of bounds to the east. You know, watching the sloppy level of play brings up the question about pros on the Olympic team. They're going to be coming off an NBA season that ends in June. How quickly can even an excellent, well-focused coach whip an all-star team into shape for Olympic competition? Or will they be so much better than their competition that it will scarcely matter? That's Ricky Pierce.
Nice pass from Charles Barkley. The concern is a number of things. If you do send a contingent, okay, dominated by NBA players, the conditioning factor, number one. The team that just gets done in the NBA Finals, most of their players should be in pretty good shape. How much practice can you actually put NBA players through after the grinding season that they just finished up? There's no question with the talent the NBA has, we should win the gold medal in the All-Star game, but in the Olympic game, I should say. But again, choosing the team to me seems the most difficult thing.
Charles Barkley, by the way, has 13 points and 16 rebounds. And here we go to Steve Jones. Snapper.
All right, Chuck Daly, you want to know something? You're one of these guys that's mentioned as a possible Olympic coach, but how about an all-star team versus a regular season team for going into the Olympics?
Oh, I think you could, you do well with that club, no matter who they are.
Could you get them ready to play?
You know, we took a club, we played the Olympic team last time that they were traveling about. We had a 30-minute practice, and we're up 20 with 4 minutes to go. These guys could play.
Well, now, you coached this team last year, and you had more defense in this game. What's happening out here this afternoon?
The defense is fine. There's so many turnovers and block shots. It's amazing.
Yeah, you did take all the fun of it with all this defense.
I think they're doing the same thing today.
Now, they're playing pretty good today. You got any thoughts about who's going to win?
I think the West is going to win.
Why?
I just got a funny feeling Magic's going to try to take it over at the end of the game. They've been resting him periodically, and he'll try to take over. He and Magic will be interesting down the stretch because it'll get very competitive over the last 5 minutes.
All right, we got a tip. We'll find out whether Daly really knows anything. We'll be back with Bob.
All right, thanks, Chuck and Steve. Worthy got the slam off the wild scramble, ties the game at 77, and it's stolen away from Jordan. Karl Malone taking it the length of the floor, throws up a scandalous shot, but Duckworth is there to stuff it home.
Carl said that was not a shot. That was the old backboard pass, knowing that Duckworth was following down the middle.
West has the lead. 4.5 minutes to play, third quarter. Worthy on Dominique. Kevin Johnson on Ricky Pierce. Here's Doherty. Over Duckworth with a line drive shot. Barkley has the rebound, and he was fouled. Charles Barkley, nudged to play in this game, still nursing that sore ankle, has 13 points, 17 rebounds, and 4 assists. Last year, he had a groin injury and also said he'd prefer not to play, and David Stern's office called and said, no, Charles, you're one of the marquee players. You'll come to Miami, and he did.
Yeah, but Charles was a little bit concerned as we spoke to him the other day in mentioning to us that it's not that I don't want to play in this game. He said, I love this game. He said, it's great. The players want to be here. The players want to win. It's just that when you have a serious injury, he said, which I do have a serious injury, he said, maybe the best thing for me is to try and rest it a little bit and get well for the stretch run of the regular season.
Makes them both and reties it at 79. Terry Porter's back in from the Trailblazers to his teammate Kevin Duckworth. And Malone pushed off, trying to get inside on Barkley. And look at Charles clapping his hands saying, yes, yes. I was talking to him the other day, and he said, look, whenever Karl Malone and I get together head-to-head, we know whoever plays second best that night is, for one day at least, the second best power forward on the planet. It's these two guys, in Charles' opinion, and then the rest of the world is trailing far behind.
Charles Barkley, he's something special. Ricky Pierce with a deuce. Point a minute, Ricky Pierce. Almost, when he's on the floor, it seems like he gets a deuce every 2 minutes out there. And you mentioned before, he would be a 37-5 scorer with a 48-minute projection.
Pretty move by Drexler, whirling for the bucket. Pierce, by the way, has 9. Drexler has 6. And we're tied again at 81. Dominique. Looked good, but no result. Porter. Drexler trailing the play, and that's timing only teammates can exhibit.
It's the eye contact, knowing what your teammate wants you to do, that little eye signal, the hand gesture, put it up there, I'll go get it. They know what it's all about, those two.
The Portland Trailblazers have 7 guys in double figures, and Walter Davis might make it 8. Drexler could probably be averaging 6-7 points more a game, but he's pulled his own offense back to fit into the team concept. Some people think it might cost him the MVP award if Portland winds up winning the championship.
The great look, the great catch with one hand by Drexel, and then the finish. And to follow up on that, you know, each of these players on the Portland team, the guys who are averaging double figures, their minutes are down almost 3 to 4 minutes a game from last season. Now, the balance is terrific. They may be a little bit fresher come playoff time, but as happened in this playoff game, there was no starter for the Portland Trailblazers. It might hurt someone as far as the MVP consideration goes.
Brad Daugherty with 4 points after completing the 3-point play. Drexler misses that time, and Daugherty has the rebound. His Cleveland Cavaliers have been decimated by the injuries to Mark Price and John Hot Rod Williams. Kevin McHale from the Celtics back in. Alvin Robertson. And the Buck guard takes it all away. Alvin's going to get some bad news after the game when he finds out that his old Arkansas Razorbacks gave the Runnin' Rebels a run. But Arkansas lost at home 112 to 105. So UNLV is 20-0, and they stay number 1. Malone was fouled. Stacey Augmon, who figures to make many appearances in the future in the NBA All-Star Game, had 31 today for UNLV as they won that big showdown at Arkansas. Here's the former Razorback Robertson.
A little two-man basketball. McHale setting the screen. Robertson turning the corner, finishing off with the dunk. We'll be right back.
Yo, Mars Blackman, here with the lattice lamp.
I am the genie on the lamp. I'm granting you just one wish.
What should I wish for? Do you know?
$1 million?
Nah, tax problem.
A new car?
Can't drive. I got it.
A wop babaloo mop bam boom.
Look, Mom, I can fly. I like that, Genie.
I am the greatest.
So why aren't you playing?
They say I'm too small.
That's what they used to say about me. Come on.
Him and the little kids, let's take it. Go, let's point win.
This time, why don't you run with me?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, man. No, he gonna play with us. Oh, he's on my team. You had first pick.
Isaiah,
I love what you did for me, man.
You did it, kid.
The average soda drinker likes to play records.
Give it up.
The average Minute Maid orange soda drinker likes to break them. The big orange taste of Minute Maid orange soda, the official soft drink of the NBA.
Why should you send the FTD Hearts and Flowers bouquet a day or 2 before Valentine's Day? It's simple. You want to make sure she gets this, so you'll get this.
The NBA All-Star Game is brought to you by your Toyota dealers and their quality line of cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me.
All right, Michael, you know, you guys just kind of been sparring back and forth, but I have a feeling that it's close to getting serious out there.
Yeah, it's getting into the fourth quarter. You know, the fourth quarter is always a more competitive quarter, but, you know, it's been close, and now it's time to make the big plays.
And anytime you play, somebody wants to win.
Oh, yeah, you want to win. It's fun in the first half, but the second half is all business.
Oh, well, somebody got to take control.
I know. We've been turning the ball over quite a bit. Everybody's trying to get everybody involved. That's probably why you see a lot of turnovers.
All right, man. Well, good luck.
Thanks.
Bob.
Okay, Ahmad, does the difference between the winners and losers share mean anything at all? The guys making this kind of money, Mike, $5,000 to the winners, $3 grand to the losers.
Well, they have upped the ante a little bit over the past few seasons. It was $2,500 and $1,500 back a few years, and it's nice to take a little check home for $5,000.
Everyone in this game, with the exception of Alvin Robertson of the Bucks, who makes about $800,000, and Tim Hardaway, the young backcourt man from the Warriors, who makes $500,000. Everyone else makes at least $1 million a year. Some well over $2 or $3 million. $5 grand is really just tip money for them on a weekend like this. Drexler knocked it away. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the NBA and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association. Doherty with a no-look pass to Wilkins, and he's stuffed by Worthy, but a foul.
And James Worthy turned around and looked at Lee Jones and said, wait a minute, Lee, my hand was on the ball. That was clean. Nice backdoor taking place by Neek here. Doherty sees it. Worthy up. Looks pretty clean from here.
Clean enough considering what they've let go at other times in this game.
Maybe they felt sorry for Neek because he missed that dunk earlier in the game.
You agree that Dominique has kicked it up a notch in almost every respect this year, that he's better this year than he's ever been?
Yeah, no question. He has gotten his teammates more involved by giving up the basketball when he's double teamed. It's helped the Hawks have this great winning streak at home now, and gotten them back from that devastating 9-game losing streak earlier in the season.
Inside 2 minutes to play in the quarter as Stockton goes to work. And before the pass, there's a whistle. Dominique Wilkins picks up the foul. It's his first. And as Stockton goes to the stripe, we remind you about next week's schedule on NBC. We've got the Pistons and the Knicks at the Garden on Sunday. And that's followed by a Monday afternoon telecast. Chicago will be at Cleveland. Brad Doherty of the Cavaliers with the rebound as Stockton made 1 of 2.
And the West team will pick up its defensive pressure now, knowing that the East is hurting for a point guard in the backcourt.
And now what you don't like to see in an all-star game has started to happen over the past several minutes. Lots of whistles.
Well, the referees know that the players are going to pick up the intensity, particularly at the defensive end of the floor. There's a little double-team trap. Alvin Robertson saying, where's everybody coming from? Give me some help back here. He is not a true point guard. You got Ricky Pierce in the backcourt with him right now. So the West is going to get up and try to make some things happen with their defense.
There are some real games to look forward to coming up this week in the NBA. The Lakers have to play at Phoenix, try to extend that 16-game winning streak. Here's Stockton all the way. They let him come through the lane for the easy layup. 90-88. The East now by 2. A week from tonight at the Forum in Los Angeles, it's the Trailblazers at the Lakers. Dominique had to walk on that one, and he did. Too flagrant to let it slide. You know, the Trailblazers opened 19-1. The Lakers were 2-5 at one point. Drexler inside had to change the shot, and now on the follow try, he's fouled. Think of Portland's situation. They're 39-9, and yet because of the 16-game Laker winning streak, Rick Adelman's team leads by only 3 and only 2 on the loss side.
Well, Rick mentioned to us that, look, we understood that the Lakers were going to make a run. They have a terrific team. The slow start he attributed to the fact that new coach, new system, new style, everyone getting adjusted to one another. But with a Magic Johnson on your team, he's just not going to let that team lose on a regular basis. They turn it around, 16 in a row right now. And as you said, chasing the Trailblazers, only 3 behind. And they still match up against each other, I believe, 3 more times this season.
Drexler ties it at 90. McHale trying to screen for Dominique. He finds Doherty for the baseline jumper. And the East goes in front by a deuce. Porter looking for Duckworth, off his hand and out of bounds. If Portland should give up that top spot in the West, if the Lakers or someone else catches them, and they don't have the home court advantage all the way through, they might look back to those 2 losses against Sacramento. The lowly Kings are the only team to have beaten them twice this year.
The nightmare that was. They missed 20 free throws in the last loss to Sacramento, shot 30% for the game.
Drexler got all of the rim, but none of the net on the attempted stuff off the Stockton feed. And now here's Doherty slamming it home with Wilkins picking up the assist. Porter back all the way. Terry Porter slices it back to 2 at 94-92. They're trying to put on a show. We've had at least 4 missed dunk attempts in the game. Wilkins finds McHale. In and out for him. Worthy on the run. It's a 3-on-2 for the West. Worthy dishes to Stockton. Misses the layup. It's off the hand of Robertson, though, so the West will keep it with just under 3 seconds to play in the quarter.
If you think about it, many of these players have not played since Thursday night. They really haven't had a strong practice at all since they've been here, and they are such finely tuned athletes that a couple of them are pushing pretty hard right now.
Porter tried to tie it and can't. 12 minutes left in regulation. The East 94, the West 92, and we're back after these messages and a word from your local station.
There are nearly 4 million miles of roads in this beautiful country. But only half of them are paved. The Toyota 4Runner. Where you go is your concern. Getting you back is ours.
I love what you do for me, Toyota.
A rookie FBI agent.
Found a girl's body down in West Virginia.
Are you saying that he's killed again?
I'll help you catch him, Clary.
A psychiatrist turned psychopath.
Yes, and now, Clary, poor little Catherine is waiting.
Opposites with one attraction.
Tell me his name, doctor.
Now,
Lecter's missing hand arm.
her life hangs in the balance.
Man's a raving maniac. Who knows what he'll do?
The Silence of the Lambs, rated R. Starts Thursday, February 14th at theaters everywhere.
This is the NBC Television Network.
Nobody beats the Whiz. High tech, low prices, incredible selection, presidential sale, cutting edge, name brands, video, audio, cellular, music, movies, and more. Nobody beats the Whiz. Presidential sale, value, integrity, customer satisfaction. Presidential sale.
Nobody beats the Whiz. Nobody beats the Whiz.
Penal implants, successes and failures. Next on A Hero.
This has been a tremendous franchise in its short history, and now they've been rewarded with the All-Star Weekend. Lots of goings-on around town. Legends game yesterday. Dave Cowens, new member of the Basketball Hall of Fame. Congratulations to him and the other 5 who were inducted, or at least elected, and will soon be inducted into the Shrine in Springfield, Massachusetts. They packed this place. They've sold out every single game in franchise history, just under 24,000 every night. Start the fourth quarter. Stockton to Worthy with the West in control, looking for the game-tying bucket. And it isn't there. McHale has it. Doherty, Robertson, Wilkins, McHale, and Pierce on the floor for Chris Ford as we start the fourth. Robertson misses badly, and the West has it. Drexler, Porter, Worthy, Chambers, and Stockton. Chambers open. He's hit just 2 of 6, and he has 4 points. He scored 21 points in 21 minutes last year in the All-Star game at Miami. And Pierce travels as he lost the handle. And as we told you earlier, Chambers was the MVP of the All-Star game in '87.
2 possessions coming down the floor. 1 rushed, hurried shot by Robertson. 1 turnover by Pierce, missing that other point guard in the backcourt.
And now a charge by Porter.
30. Offensive foul number 30, Terry Porter, his second personal.
Little crossover, good anticipation by Pierce. Moves his feet, gets in front of the guy, picks up the offensive foul. And this isn't exactly the easiest matchup. Wilkins trying to handle against Drexler.
Clyde reaching in, looking for the steal. And a foul on the West squad. You said before the tip-off that it's only in the 4th quarter that strategy, and even then not all that much, but some strategy kicks in.
Well, you're concerned about the matchups, and there's Michael's dad, Mr. Jordan, who follows him all around. He's a terrific fan of Michael's. His mom and dad, 2 wonderful people. We've had the opportunity to speak with them many times. But down the stretch, I was saying that you have the opportunity to try to hurt people with certain matchups. Hersey for 3 with a miss, and that's where the coaching is going to come into play.
Here comes Hardaway, all the way, misses with the left hand, and Michael has the rebound. I wonder whether he adopted his dad's hairstyle or the other way around. They both definitely have the same approach to the dome. Striking resemblance between the 2, isn't there? Even up at 94, 10.5 to play in the game. Chambers guarded by Ewing, trying to shake him, and Patrick commits the foul.
Patrick up real close, not letting Chambers face up and shoot the perimeter shot. Tried to crowd him. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to move his feet quick enough because Chambers can put it down on the floor. Tries to turn the corner. Maybe a little bit of a trip there by Patrick. Or a little push one way or the other. He's going to get him down.
Chambers goes to work again and back out to Hardaway. Hardaway tried to pass it through a crowd, deflected out of bounds. Tim is the game's smallest player and has the smallest wallet. He's listed at 6 feet, probably closer to 5'11", and at this early stage of his career has to try and scrape by on about $500,000 a year, which will jump dramatically next time.
And
here he is.
As Hardaway knocks it out, Magic said recently in an article, Tim Hardaway has the best crossover dribble in the NBA. So quick, right to left, boom, boom. He says, you're dead.
McHale from Michael doesn't hoist the 3. Dominique in traffic, foul. Mentioned Dave Cowens among those making the Hall of Fame. Our congratulations to the others as well. Coach Bob Knight of Indiana, Larry O'Brien, the one-time head of the Democratic Committee, and then the commissioner of the NBA, Nate Tiny Archibald, Harry Gallatin, and Larry Fleischer from the Players Association.
Of all the extraordinary new automobiles that come to America, only one was awarded Motor Trend Import Car of the Year, the Mitsubishi 3000 GT. With all-wheel drive, all-wheel steering, ABS brakes, and 300 horsepower. The Mitsubishi 3000 GT, Import Car of the Year. Mitsubishi, the word is getting around.
Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its real draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
Know what a lot of today's teens are doing? They're thinking about their future and that of Black America. That's why once again McDonald's celebrates Black History Month by looking to the future. Join us now as we salute our 1991 McDonald's Black History Makers of Tomorrow. These 30 teens have been selected because of their dreams and the roles they want to play as leaders in America's future. And someday they may truly have a place in Black history.
The NBA All-Star Game is brought to you by Mitsubishi, bringing you a full line of award-winning automobiles. Mitsubishi, the word is getting around. By Xerox, the document company. And by Miller Genuine Draft, cold filtered for real draft taste. So get out of the old, get into the cold.
All right, I'm here with Bernard King, one of the biggest comeback stories probably of all time, because people said you couldn't play anymore, and now you're here back in the All-Star game. Now, you said that you wouldn't know how you feel during the introductions. Were you choked up?
I was really pumped up. You know, it was an emotional moment for me. This is something I've thought about for 6 long years, and not only to come back, but to play as an All-Star and to be able to start in this All-Star game is something I'll never forget. I'm excited to be here.
Especially when people say, no, you can't play anymore. Not only can you play anymore, you're here.
Well, I think that I'm proving I'm deserving of being here, and I'm just having fun playing with all these great players. And it's a defensive struggle right now, and that's the way it seems.
Now, do you have something against the Knicks? Because every time you play them, you just be killing them.
Well, there's nothing against the organization. I enjoyed my years with them, but certainly that last ball game we played was a message to not only to the Knicks, but to the New York All-Star, and I deserve to be here. But there's no hard feelings at all.
A tremendous familiarity with the hoops in Madison Square Garden.
Well, I played here long enough to know where all the sweet spots are.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, Bernard.
Okay, thanks.
As we come back to the action, Chambers misses, Drexler rebounds, and Clyde hits it off the glass. The West goes up by 3 at 98-95. Bernard King has made the All-Star team 4 times with 3 different teams, with Golden State, with the Knicks twice, and now with the Bullets. Ewing was fouled before the shot.
At the other end of the floor, Clyde working the offensive boards, and he's bigger and stronger. Then Hersey Hawkins just jumps over the top, moves him out of the way, and scores on the follow.
Tom Chambers just picked up his 3rd. David Robinson's been on the bench for quite a stretch with 5. Wilkins almost lets go of the 3, lets Michael do it, misses the 2-point attempt from the baseline, gets the rebound back, 4 defenders there, and one of them, Drexler, swats it down. Here comes a 4-on-2 with Stockton. The trailer is Chambers for the jam.
He's not running back in transition right now. The West, with this small, quick team on the floor, Chambers as the center, had all 5 players down at the end of that break.
Wilkins, quick slithering baseline move, didn't hit it, but Ewing is there for the follow. Patrick with 11. Worthy. Patrick has the rebound as he got back down quickly, hustling on defense. Jordan comes through, finds Barkley, waits for the traffic to clear and lays it in. 100-99 with 8.5 minutes to go. The West in front by 1, and now Stockton will wait. Hardaway over Michael. Flat-footed rebound to Barkley, who's closing in on 20 rebounds. Chambers guarding Ewing with Duckworth and Robinson out. Patrick trying to abuse him, and he does.
Well, that's where they'll suffer. Chambers may hurt him at the offensive end of the floor, but if they keep going down inside to Patrick, he's too big for Chambers. He just backs him down, overpowers him.
Stockton with the runner that goes in and out, and Barkley clears the boards again. His 18th rebound. Jordan. Dominique. Drexler strips him. Got it cleanly, says Mike Mathis, and then Barkley tackles Drexler to short-circuit the break.
And Charles, getting caught back at the defensive end, knows that there's no way he can move his feet with Drexler. He said, wait a minute, you come right here, stay with me. I'll take that foul. You can have it out on the side.
4th foul for Barkley. 2nd team foul on the East in the quarter. Porter's pass deflected, and Michael winds up poking it over to Wilkins. Michael all the way, lays it in.
And there's Mom, Miss Jordan. She likes it. The crowd liked it.
Hardaway didn't like what happened there as Ewing said, get out of here, little man.
When he sees the opening, he turns it up just another notch and hurries to get to the rim, where he's the best at finishing.
This ball out of bounds into Chambers. That, by the way, was Jordan's first basket of the second half. He had 19 at halftime, 21 now. And number 21, Dominique Wilkins, picks up the foul.
Dominique Wilkins, that's his second, team's third.
If we were to declare an MVP right now, Barkley might have the inside track, huh? With all the rebounding he's done in addition to scoring.
Yeah, Charles has really worked hard on the glass to keep this Eastern team in the position they've been in. But Jordan's getting the points for him.
Chambers with the floater. A soft left-handed shot. Brings the West within 1 at 103 to 102. Just under 7 minutes to play. Here's Hardaway with a steal, and Michael fouls him before he can take off.
Nice move by Hardaway. He just timed it, went for the steal.
Whether you take your lunch to work or your work to lunch, today's special is Sharps from Miller, the breakthrough non-alcoholic brew with real beer taste.
Of all the extraordinary new automobiles that come to America, only one was awarded Motor Trend Import Car of the Year, the Mitsubishi 3000 GT. With all-wheel drive, all-wheel steering, ABS brakes, and 300 horsepower. The Mitsubishi 3000 GT, Import Car of the Year. Mitsubishi, the word is getting around.
People love the convenience of fax machines. What most of us don't like are funny paper faxes that curl up and are hard to read. That's why Xerox makes more kinds of plain paper fax machines than anyone else for documents that are easy to read and a pleasure to handle because they're on good old plain paper. Plain paper fax machines from Xerox, the way to put it together.
Putting it together.
Faxing, scanning, copying, printing. Xerox, the document company.
How about a little one-on-one?
I'm ready.
Now, on this first time ever Wheaties Game Box, you can shoot hoops with Michael Jordan.
Nice shot.
But you better get into the action before the game box is over.
Yes!
Okay, 2 out of 3.
In trying to make an artistic statement, one should be careful not to let one's personal aroma do the talking. In order not to offend the critics, I recommend Right Guard Sport Stick. It provides maximum protection and the freshest scents, a sublime palette of odoriferous emanations. After all, a true artiste should be remembered for his inspiration, not his perspiration. Right Guard Sport Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Sometimes love and devotion can win in the war on drugs. See how this infant beat the odds and is helping teens to say no. Real Life with Jane Pauley, tonight.
The gorilla from the Phoenix Suns raising the colors high. And here is the man of teal, Super Hugo, with the somersault attempted dunk. Same fate befalls him as befell Dominique in the first half. He made it yesterday during the stay-in-school jam. Did those mascots drive you crazy when you were coaching, when the gorilla would come up to you in Phoenix? Or did you get a kick out of them?
You actually don't even realize that they're out there most of the time. Unless they're in your huddle sitting next to you, then there's a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah. Here are the leading scorers. Michael with only 2 since intermission. Barkley has the 18 rebounds to go with the 17 points. Magic hit a pair of 3-pointers in the first half, leads the West with 16. He was the MVP of the All-Star game a year ago. Up for grabs this afternoon. 6:40 to play. West with the ball and down by 1. Malone was fouled, and he'll have a chance to give his team the lead.
Interesting that they would come out of the timeout and go to what you would call a bread and butter play for Karl Malone. Give him the ball, low left block. That's where he likes to play from. That's what he does with Utah all season. That's what Rick Adelman did for him just then.
Patrick Ewing picked up his 4th. He still holds the 1-point lead coming up after the NBA All-Star game. Final round of the Bob Hope Chrysler Classic. Charlie Jones and the rest of our golf crew standing by. Malone can tie it. Missed them both. Michael has committed 10 of the East's 27 turnovers in addition to his 21 points. Hersey Hawkins hits. He came off the screen and was wide open after receiving the pass. Chambers lost it coming through. Porter picks it back up. Porter from Hardaway. Shot clock down to 5. Chambers traveled.
You mentioned that Michael Jordan had the high number of turnovers, but keep in mind, he's kind of moved over now, and he's handling the ball much more than he normally does during the course of the season, acting as the lead guard or point guard for the Eastern squad.
East by 3 as we move inside 6 minutes. 41st NBA All-Star game.
The biggest fear of a coach during the season, giving Michael Jordan the ball at the end of the game and giving him a screen out high. Tough to play.
His pass for Ewing broken up by Porter, still East ball. Magic returns and asks Clyde Drexler, the man he's replacing, who have I got? Porter also out and Kevin Johnson back in.
And now Magic moves up front as the small forward with KJ and Hardaway still on the floor.
Jordan releases off the inbound and hits. 23 for Michael. Hardaway all the way. Malone kicks it out to KJ. Magic for 3. Chambers. Malone. 5 tries and nothing. Maybe they'll get a 6th try. That one doesn't fail. Hardaway to Malone. Clock ticking down toward 5 minutes. East with the ball and a 3-point lead. Malone on Barkley. Michael trying to post up on Hardaway. Instead, it's Ewing who was fouled as he was double-teamed.
At the other end of the floor, Magic lets fly with a 3-point attempt, misses, and then here comes the hard work. Chambers said, let me get it up there quick before Ewing tries to block it. Malone just can't get a handle on it. They keep it alive. Barkley said, I'll start the fast break. And then Hardaway said, no, you won't. I'll take it back. Let me give it to those big guys underneath so they can finish it off. The mailman hammers it through.
Ewing rattles it home. He's averaging 26 points a game and 11 rebounds a game. You know, prior to last year, this is amazing. He was never in the top 10 in the league in rebounding.
Well, 2 big concerns when he was coming out of college, even though he was the #1 pick overall in the draft. How big of a scorer would he be in the NBA? Because he lacked, they said, a lot of post moves, big man moves. The other thing, he's not a big-time rebounder at Georgetown, but I think the style of play had something to do with it. There weren't that many shots at Georgetown because they controlled tempo.
Out of bounds, it goes to the east. David Robinson has come back in. He's playing with 5 fouls for the West.
I mean, he did bring his team to 3 NCAA tournament finals, right, in 4 years?
And he is averaging 11 rebounds a game now for John McLeod's Knicks, and he is among the league leaders in the category. Jordan, Barkley, Bernard King, Jordan shooting and missing. Percy Hawkins and Patrick Ewing. Those are the 5 on the floor for Chris Ford's East team. David Robinson through 2 defenders and fouled as he made his move. The basket counts.
David Robinson has great quickness when he turns and faces up on his opposing centers. That little 10-foot jumper, he knocks that out, so he squares up, faces up, quick move, puts it on the floor, gets in the seam, actually gets through the double team where Michael Jordan was trying to get back there to help out.
5 fouls on Ewing now. For the West, it's Robinson, Malone, Mullen, and the 2 Johnsons, Magic and KJ. Go ahead, says Magic. Says Michael.
And the West actually has the bigger team on the floor right now.
Now he will. Robinson chasing it to the sideline, can't save it. Still East ball, 4:05 to play, East by 2. Look at Larry Brown's quote on David Robinson. Obviously, he has many friends and former classmates at the Naval Academy who are stationed in the Persian Gulf.
Earlier in the season, when we had an opportunity to work a San Antonio game, after about 30, 35 games, he said probably 28 to 30 of these games, David Robinson has been responsible for us getting the wins that we have. Suddenly, since the outbreak of the war, his game has changed a little bit.
It is possible for him to be called up. He has not yet been, and it is also possible that were he called up, his duty would be stateside rather than in the Persian Gulf. And he has told us and told others, I just await my instructions. If it happens that way, I go.
Yeah, he's such a great person and has such a concern for everything that's going around him. I think people misread him when he came out of college, not realizing that there was a lot more to his world than just basketball, and he was willing to express that.
That's Bruce Hornsby of Bruce Hornsby and the Range. He and Branford Marsalis combined to play the national anthem before the game. After the 22nd timeout, here's Bernard King with that quick turnaround, a specialty of his. He misses, and David Robinson.
And they came out of that timeout and went right at that mismatch. At least they felt it was a mismatch with Chris Mullin guarding King.
Magic to the hole. Can't tie it. Another try. Ewing held his ground and no foul was called. Barkley out of there with a ball. Jordan collides with KJ and a blocking foul, no charge.
Good call. Michael never had the chance to come back down. KJ stepped underneath. Michael looking back for the outlet pass after the fake. Ewing stays down, gets his hands up, gets a piece. And Charles throwing the pass. Michael looking back. There's KJ trying to get the charge, but stepped in a little too soon.
Jordan trying to extend a 2-point East lead. (110, 107), 3.5 to play. Robinson has it if he wants it. Misses it by plenty. Another rebound for Barkley. His 22nd rebound. Hersey Hawkins misses. Jordan chases it down. Barkley whips it inside to King. King lays it off to Ewing.
Bernard King is such a great passer, particularly in the interior area when those big people are trying to collapse on him. He finds his teammates.
The East goes up by 5. A foul away from the ball. Kevin Johnson goes sprawling into the basket support. Watch the ball movement by the East the last time down.
Barkley finds him. King knows his teammates open. Now Ewing's got to send it down over the outstretched Robinson.
We showed you how it looked. That was how it sounded. The power jam from Patrick. 2:46 on the clock. East by 5.
This good boy shares what he has with the rest of his class. This bad boy doesn't. There's only one Jeep Cherokee Sport.
Save $700 on new 1991 Jeep Cherokees.
Next time you work out, change your routine. And grab a Sharps from Miller, the breakthrough non-alcoholic brew with real beer taste.
Because there are races that last 24 hours. Because there are rallies that last 4 days. There are high-performance tires, Gold Michelins.
Now, in here, we can all express our true feelings to management. Jane.
I think you're a little
unintelligent,
insensitive, arrogant, unpleasant, and totally incompetent.
Thank you all for sharing that with me.
Want to make your business relationships better? Use the best 1030 delivery in business.
Morning. That's the nicest thing I've heard all day.
Federal Express. Absolutely, positively the best in the business.
The Detroit Pistons, the New York Knicks, Lambeer, Ewing, 2 towers of power toe-to-toe in the Big Apple. Will the world champions put the chill into New York's biggest thrill? The NBA on NBC next Sunday.
The NBA All-Star Game is brought to you by Jeep and Eagle, official vehicles of the NBA.
In 40 previous NBA All-Star games, here's the only one decided on the game's last shot at Los Angeles. Tied at 110. It's in the hands of Mr. Clutch. Look at Walt Frazier of the Knicks guarding Jerry West. Oscar screens for him. Havlicek also there defensively. West knocks it down from the head of the key. You saw Wilt coming over to give him a high five. And the West wins 112 to 110. In this one, we've got 2:46 left. And the West is down by 5, 112-107. Kevin Johnson cuts into it a bit. Only one of two. But the rebound for David Robinson, and it becomes a three-point trip down the floor for the West. Both Robinson and Ewing are on the floor with 5 fouls apiece. Barkley also has 5 for the East, and he remains in the game. Jordan. Left-handed off the drive. He's now 10 of 24 from the floor. He's got 25 points in the game. Make it 26. He's the high man with 26. Magic. Ewing rejects it. Jump ball is called as Johnson reaches in.
As long as Michael Jordan controls the ball, they'll continue to set screens for him, shake him free, get him in that lane area. Then he has the great ability to change hands and finish it. And a little bit of help here. Pierce in trouble. Magic too big. Ewing comes over. Clean block on the ball.
West has it off the jump. Down by 4. Mullen has room. Malone keeps it alive for the West. KJ cuts the lead to 2. He was scoreless in the first half. He has 5 points in the second.
Here comes Charles again. Gives him the screen. Shake him free. Mismatch right now. Malone having to guard Jordan.
Pierce to Ewing. Hits the 10-footer on the baseline. A minute 35 to go. Mullen back. Fouled on the play as he tried to slide across the lane. Ricky Pierce picks up the personal.
Not exactly a guy that you... Offensively, no problem. Defensively, I might have a little problem guarding some of the quicker guys.
West moves within 2. Inside a minute and a half. Barkley again screening from Michael. Malone picks him up on the switch. Tried to go with the fadeaway, but Carl got a little piece of it. Michael saves it into Pierce. Barkley, 3 on the shot clock. Had to try to get that one up there. Kevin Johnson with the save into the hands of Bernard King, but a 24-second violation as they never got a shot up to the rim. Bounds that constituted possession for the West, so possession had changed, and there's no 24-second violation. Watch. So the East keeps their 2-point lead. They get the ball back when we come back.
This without the advantage of all-wheel drive.
Kevin Johnson. David Robinson almost threw it away, does throw it away. KJ took his eye off it. There were only 5 seconds on the shot clock.
And KJ was on his way to the offensive boards. He thought Robinson was going up with the shot. David gets up, elevates, look across, and there's KJ on his way. Tries to get back, but takes his eye off it, as you mentioned.
The East can't eat up the entire clock.
What a feeling this is, to be standing out there one-on-one, trying to guard Jordan. Give me help!
He goes by Magic. He dumps it inside to Barkley. And a jump ball called. Robinson's going to be at the line to jump it, along with Barkley, with 17 seconds to play in the game.
East better make sure they cover the backcourt right here.
Tip goes to the West, and a timeout is immediately called. There have been 4 previous overtime. Screen, he rolls to the bucket, cut off by Jordan. Magic's got it now. For 3. KJ for 3 that could win it, and it was touched. It was touched by Malone as it approached the bucket. And that'll disallow everything. The East is going to have the ball with 2.9 seconds.
I'll tell you what, from here, it looked like that thing was dead in the center of the hole.
Looking for the quick foul to stop the clock, but they can't catch Jordan. And that's that. Barkley embraces Jordan. Charles had 17 points and 22 rebounds. Jordan scored 26 points. He was the leading scorer. Let's watch the last play as Kevin Johnson releases a three-pointer that could have won it for the West.
My goodness. That looked like a game winner to me.
It at least had a chance. Maybe this other angle will tell us more. It might have been there. Impossible to say for sure, but it very well might have been there. Now watch KJ's reaction. Good square up. He had lots of time. Barkley runs at him late. He's trying to use the body English to send it in there. No, no, he says, Carl, how could you do this to me?
That was a 3, Carl. He gives him a little boot right after this, where he says, Carl, what are you doing?
A chance for glory, narrowly missed for Kevin Johnson. One more look. He clearly touched it. Obviously, it was the right call. I'm not sure what Karl Malone was thinking. Let's go to Ahmad Rashad. I'm guessing he's with the MVP, who is Charles Barkley.
All right, Bob. It is now that time to announce the winner of this year's MVP for the NBA All-Star Game. And to make that presentation is the NBA Commissioner, Mr. David Stern.
Charles, we're really thrilled that you volunteered to be here. And we think that we now understand, with 17 points and 22 rebounds, why they call you the round mound of rebounds. You were spectacular. Congratulations on being the MVP amongst all of these great stars.
And now for another special presentation, we have the Senior Vice President of the Miller Brewing Company, Mr. Chuck Schmidt.
Charles, today you were one of the greatest athletes in the world playing against the greatest. And in honor of that, the Miller Brewing Company will present a check for $5,000 in your name to the Thurgood Marshall Fund. Congratulations.
Charles, now I imagine that if everything was right, you would like to come down here fully healthy, but you came down and played a whale of a game.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody for the award, everybody who voted for me. And I thank God, because I'm very lucky to be one of these NBA players, and I can always try to give him the credit. And I am glad that I came down here. Obviously, my foot was giving me some problems because I haven't been playing well lately. But hopefully this will give me some emotion and I can play better the second half. But I just wanted, I hope everybody had a really good time today, and I hope for the and you know, I hope this situation in the Persian Gulf puts sports in perspective. It's supposed to be entertainment. People have gotten out of hand with it, but hopefully sports will get back in its proper context, what it is, entertainment. And I hope for 2 hours today, the troops over in the Persian Gulf and the fans could forget about everything and just enjoy themselves.
All right, Charles, thanks for those words. Congratulations to you and continued good luck on the rest of the season. Thank you. All right, back to you, Bob.
Okay, Ahmad, so Charles Barkley can be grateful for that late call from the league office urging him to play. He winds up the MVP with 17 points and 22 rebounds. Our very best once again from Marv Albert. He'll be back to call the game between the Pistons and the Knicks next Sunday on NBC. Pleasure working with you, Mike Fratello. And for Pat Riley and all the rest of the gang here at NBC, I'm Bob Costas. So long from Charlotte.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. Come fly the friendly skies.
Tuesday.
You murdered my friend.
Tibbs turns to vigilante justice, and the chief must stop him before another victim falls in the heat of the night. Then, the famous New York Godfather case.
They don't play by the rules. Why should we? Because that's our job.
Winning means crossing the line of law and order after Heat of the Night, NBC Tuesday.
How do you like that new Ford Escort?
Just comparing. I was thinking of a Toyota Corolla.
If you really compare, you'll see that the Escort has a bigger engine and gets better gas mileage.
Yeah, but I hear maybe the imports have more to offer.
The Escort comes with more features than Corolla and costs less.
Oh, really?
And you'll save even more with cash back or special financing.
That's what I'm looking for. More car for less money.
Only at your tri-state quality Ford dealer.
See your Ford dealer and see for yourself.
Sir, I want you to stand right here for me, okay? Okay, go ahead and get your hands out of your pockets. Go ahead and stand face me. Put your heels and toes together. All the way together. All the way together. Okay, you see my pen right here in front of your eyes? Yeah. I want you to follow my pen, okay? With your eyes only. Okay, sir. Go ahead and turn around. You have anything in a gun? No. Go ahead and turn around. Give me your hands to the back. Okay, you're under arrest for DWI, sir, okay? We're going to go downtown for intoxilizer test, okay?
The real-life pilot who caught a murderer, tonight at 11 on News 4 New York.
The gallery gathered around the 18th green here at Indian Wells yesterday left with warm memories thanks to Bob Hope. Bob Hope has given golf fans more than a quarter-century of memories here at his classic, and this one may live forever. Now we turn our attention to today's competition, which is strictly for professionals. For third-round leader, Mark O'Meara, one of the tour's strongest front-runners. For Tim Simpson, searching for victory and the courage to overcome personal tragedy. For Corey Pavin, a 7-time tour winner, shut out over 2 years. For Fred Couples, trying to turn talent into supremacy on tour. And for Ray Floyd, winner of 4 majors, stalking today's pack. NBC Sports presents the PGA Tour. The 1991 Bob Hope Chrysler Classic. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Indian Wells Country Club in Indian Wells, California. Well, Bob Hope has done it again. The temperature 87 degrees.